have a few different chiropractic stories, but I'm going to share the number one reason why I became a chiropractor. So, growing up, I actually thought I was born to be a chiropractor. And by the way, I didn't know anything about chiropractic. I just knew that I grew up massaging people from the age of 3 on. And that was my parents because they worked as laborers. And every single family gathering, I was massaging my grandma, my grandpa, and I was lined up on this big yellow velvet couch with those big florals and standing behind there massaging my uncles, my aunts, my grandpa, my grandma, anybody else. And I would do that for, I don't know, maybe I made quarters, maybe I didn't even make anything, but I loved what I could do to help change over people by just my touch. But I didn't know anything about chiropractic, and we didn't grow up with my family. We just didn't have the money for that. And so when I was 15, my grandma started getting sick. So at 65 years old, she started developing this cough in the middle of winter, of course. So we go through, we develop a cough. What are we all going to go get? Yeah, sure. We'll go grab the first medication, right? So she starts taking this cough medication. And when the cough didn't go away, of course, she went to the medical doctor. So they gave her some antibiotics. By February, the cough still didn't clear up and she was having a hard time breathing. So she went from being able to lie back in a bed to now having to sleep in a recliner in order to even breathe. So she went to the medical doctor. They diagnosed her with emphysema, started giving her inhalers. They started giving her other things to help her breathe. And eventually, because she got diagnosed that way, they're like, oh, here, we'll put you on some oxygen. Well, the cough didn't go away. The breathing still got worse. And she started having a harder time just doing everyday activities. She was losing her breath. And what ended up happening was then she ended up coughing up blood, went to the next doctor in July of that year, and was diagnosed with lung cancer. She was given 6 months to live. So in August of that year, we had actually gone together as a full family to go through and to get together with her. And seeing my grandma, she was so frail. She had a huge oxygen tank. She was in a wheelchair and she could barely stand for periods on end. And we had this huge family picture, which I'm going to show you guys. But during that time, which we maybe stood for 5 minutes, by the end of that 5 minutes, she was exhausted. And as we went through, I would go up there, visit her with my mom, and one of these drives up in November, which was the last time I would actually see my grandma, I was massaging her and she just told me, you know what, you're so gifted, you need to do something with your hands. I knew that wasn't massage, but I knew it had to be something different. And that played in my mind. Because she was like, you need to do something with your hands. You were so blessed. Like, you've had these hands for so long. And, by December, my grandma had passed away. So on my mom's birthday in December, we were actually burying my grandma. And I'm going to tell you, I think her life would have been so much different had she known about the toxic chemicals, had she known about being adjusted on a regular basis, had she not been on all of the other medications for blood pressure medications, diabetes medications, all of those things. And I want to think that her life would have been different. And that is what drives me to reach out and save other people's lives in our community, because I'm going to tell you, chiropractic is life changing. I have seen patients now get off of medications, reverse diabetes, reverse cancer diagnosis. They have had black limbs that have returned back to normal coloration. And I'm not saying it's just chiropractic, because we want to look at the full picture, because here's the thing.